They make them, we cover them, you sell them. Welcome to OEM Update, where we talk about everything you need to know about this year's vehicle model lines. My name is Megan Cusack, editor of Motorcycle and Powersports News, and today we're going to be talking about the 2025 Can-Am Origin. Now, the Origin is an electric dual sport motorcycle and starts at a base MSRP of $14,499. So, let's dive deeper into what exactly this motorcycle has to offer. But for that, we're going to go straight to the OEM source. Joining me today to give us an overview of the 2025 Can-Am Origin is Elsa Vilarinho, Director of Marketing for Can-Am On-Road. Elsa, thank you so much for jumping on to speak with us today.
Well, thank you for having me, Megan. Nice to be here.
Of course. All right. So the Origin made its debut alongside the Pulse last fall as part of Can-Am's return to motorcycling. What's the dealer and consumer response been to these bikes so far?
Well, we've had two types of responses. So many dealers saw this as, a chance to offer an innovative new addition to the motorcycle category and a bridge between Can-Am's legacy with the future of motorcycling. On the other hand, some dealers have been more hesitant when it comes to fully understanding the full EV potential in the moto industry, as a whole.
Right.
But we're working hand in hand with our global dealer network so they, fully understand Can-Am's position and how it really fits in the industry. Again, we're in this together. We know that there's adaptation time, but we're in it for the long haul. And our objective is really to become a global leader when it comes to EV motorcycles. And we're doing everything we can to accomplish that. Also, the positive side of things is that, for consumers, especially the EV early adopters, are responding really, really well to the modern design, the intuitive riding, the electric powertrain. Since we launched, I think in February or March, we're focused on getting as many butts on seats as possible. It's really our sole obsession because we know that when people ride it, they get it. Right? We found the same type of response from consumers all over the world, mostly in Europe. So we're pursuing our journey and finding ways to get people to ride it so they really could truly understand what we've built.
Right, absolutely. And, I completely understand that struggle that maybe some dealers are having with accepting EVs, but as we are going to get into kind of talking about the Origin specifically here, I'm sure you're going to let us know just kind of what pros there are to riding an EV motorcycle. So
Yes.
on that note, why don't you give us a brief introduction to the 2025 Origin and, what kind of bike it is and what exactly, or, which type of rider is looking for this type of bike?
Yes. So the Can-Am Origin is a dual sport bike. It's built to handle off-road, but also work with ease on paved roads. It has Can-Am's motocross DNA, hence the name Origin, with the multi-terrain readiness. So the high ground clearance, the suspension, it inspires confidence, for the riders on trail, but also keeps them firmly planted on pavement. The Origin is also for urban riders who really crave exhilaration, both on street and trail. It's for those who want versatility, but also the cutting edge tech and a quiet emission-free ride, right? That's really important. So we're targeting new riders because of the ease of riding, as well as tech enthusiasts who crave the latest and the greatest. We are also looking at existing riders, honestly, because they're also looking for a ride that stands out from the crowd with a new ride experience.
Right, absolutely. So, as you said, emissions free is key here. So, the battery is a big part of what makes the Origin special, as well as the Pulse. But so, can you
Yeah.
explain a little bit about the Origin's battery and what makes it unique among all the EV bikes that are being released out there?
Yeah, it's so central to our development. So I have like so many things to say here. And first, I want to just debunk the fact that I am not a product specialist or an engineer. but I'll try to make this as simple as I can, the way that I understand it. So the first
Right.
thing to keep in mind is that both the Can-Am Origin and Pulse feature a liquid-cooled lithium-ion battery system with an energy output of 8.9 kilowatt hour. So the liquid-cooled system offers key benefits like maintaining the optimal battery temperature, whether you're riding in hot summer heat or in a colder temperature. It also allows for faster and predictable charging. So that's one of the good benefits. Charging time, because I know people ask that all the time. So it varies with the type of level you're using. So if you're using a level 2 charging station, it brings you from 20 to 80% in 50 minutes and 0 to 100% in about 90 minutes. You could also have, the level 1 charger. It's also available. So that one, if you want to go from 20 to 80, it takes about 3 hours and 10 minutes, give and take. And if you want to go from 0 to 100 in a level 1 charger, it will take you about 5 hours and 15 minutes. Also, what's interesting and unique about our battery system, it's that it's integrated in the frame. So it provides better weight distribution, but also a single-sided swing arm with an enclosed self-lubricating chain drive for, very low maintenance and a quiet ride. Both Pulse and Origin stand out for that quietness because, they have the same battery pack and system. The enclosed chain drive, which is really a proven innovation from BRP that comes from the Ski-Doo lineup. It eliminates the high-speed clatter, typical from a chain-driven bike. So the result is really near silent performance. And, the only dominant sounds that you'll have are the roads or the wind. So you can imagine it's exceptional, that level of quietness really changes the rider's experience, in any environment or setting.
Oh, absolutely. Although, I can see like the other side, the people that still like the ICE engines, missing the rumble of the motorcycle there. So, but to be fair, to the EV side, the ride will be quite different when you can actually hear what you're riding through, or not hear anything, as it were.
And you know what? And I don't want to cut you, Megan, but you bring out like a really interesting point. Everybody, the ICE riders, it's always the first thing they're like, not quite sure about. But when they experience it, it's a really different kind of ride. You're not doing and expecting the same things. And even the riding experience is so different that you end up not even comparing both experiences. So, yeah.
Okay, excellent. All right. So obviously the battery is a huge, selling feature of this bike. What are some of the other main selling points?
Well, the Origin stands out with the upright position, the adventure-ready suspension, the responsive throttle. It also features a digital display with smartphone integration. It's customizable, it has customizable riding modes. So the rugged design touches really sort of make it trail capable, but still stylish for urban environments. And of course, the instant torque of an electric motor is a thrill that, many can testify when they ride it. Also on both the Origin and the Pulse, there's the feature of active and passive regen decelerating systems. So I'm going to try to explain this very simply. So passive regen really kicks in automatically when a rider rolls off the throttle. So the electric motor begins to slow the bike, acting like a generator that converts the bike's kinetic energy into electricity. It sort of does the recharge of the battery at that moment. So it's subtle, it's smooth, similar to engine braking on a gas-powered motorcycle. It helps extend the range without the rider's input, and it's always working like in the background. So that's for passive regen. As for active regen, so it engages when a rider rolls the throttle forward. So it's similar to the passive regen. It also has 3 levels that could be set by the rider. But when in use, the system actively ramps up energy recovery as the rider controls how much the motor assists in decelerating. So in a nutshell, like together, passive and active regen, they extend the bike's range. They reduce the brake pad wear, obviously, because you slow and accelerate. And it creates a more intuitive riding experience by blending regen effects with traditional braking.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like the idea of that active regen as well. I've heard of some passive regen, but
Passive,
the active,
yeah,
I, I mean, I feel like when you're riding, you're probably going to be using active regen maybe a little bit more than passive.
probably more.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
probably more. Yeah,
love that you're getting it either way, though.
yeah, exactly. It's a win-win.
All right. Now, can you break down the bike's trim levels and specs for us?
Yeah, so we offer the Can-Am Origin in 2 trim levels. So the base trim is perfect for the everyday riders and includes all the core features like LED lighting, integrated ride modes, high ground clearance, and suspension travel. The Origin 73, which alludes to Can-Am's year of birth, adds LED lighting, the Link windscreen, and signature paint and badging, to allude to that 73. So it gives that. So the Can-Am, price, starts at 14,499 USD. The range goes up to 90 miles in city conditions and approximately 70 miles combined, city and off-road. The weight is approximately 412 pounds.
And then, so we've talked a little bit about what the Origin and the Pulse share, especially with the battery there. But how do the Origin and Pulse differ?
Even though these share a common platform, there are 2 very distinctive motorcycles. So the Can-Am Pulse is really designed for riders who want an electric motorcycle that feels at home in the city. It's light, it's nimble, it has a smaller weight and size, and it has a sleek, modern look that really reflects the urban environment. The riding position is upright. It's comfortable. It makes it easy to maneuver through traffic, zip across town. It's very accessible and fun to ride with an instant torque, also with smooth acceleration. So the Pulse delivers a fun, responsive ride without the noise or maintenance of a traditional street bike. As for the Can-Am Origin, like I said, it's a dual sport motorcycle that really blends the utility of riding off pavement with performance and comfort, both on and off road. Whether you're carving along the back roads or exploring unpaved trails, the Origin feels rugged yet refined. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's how it really looks and feels. So the Ergo also was designed for an optimized rider fit. So it's quiet, smooth, tech forward making. So it just as enjoyable as a twisty and bumpy trail, as it is on your daily, ride to work. So both models, the Pulse and the Origin, are built from, the ground up, meaning that they offer an incredible riding experience, and each is designed to be simple and fun to ride, regardless of whether you are a new or seasoned rider. We say they're twist and go with no standard clutch, no transmission, so delivering like an instant torque on demand with precision, style, and sophistication. Obviously, my chief of design would love to hear me say that, but it's true. So there are plenty of accessories for storage, comfort, wind protection, so riders can adapt the bikes, according to their riding style.
Perfect. Speaking of those accessories, what would you say are some of the most popular ones for the Origin?
So, adventure riders love to personalize, and so we've leaned into that. With more than 20 compatible Link Nano tool-free accessories for both Can-Am Pulse and Origin. There's multiple configurations. I don't know how many, but you could really personalize your riding experience. The popular accessories are side bags, lighting, hand guards, protective components like skid plates and radiator guards.
Well, it's been a pleasure speaking with you, Elsa, and thank you so much for taking the time today to talk with us about the 2025 Origin.
Thank you. Thank you, Megan.
For more information about its motorcycles or to become a Can-Am dealer, head to can-am.brp.com. And as always, like, subscribe, and stay tuned to MPN for more of the latest and greatest in motorcycle and powersports news.